Trapped in virtual nightmare. I always thought virtual reality games were just that, games. But when I put on the headset for Eternal Echoes, the line between reality and simulation blurred in a way I never anticipated. It was a late-night impulse buy, a game that promised unparalleled immersion in a world as real as the one I was standing in. When I first entered the game, the graphics were breathtaking, and the sound design was eerily authentic. I found myself in an abandoned amusement park, the kind where laughter once echoed but now only the wind whispered through the rest of the rides. The sun was setting, casting long shadows that danced unsettlingly across the cracked pavement. As I explored, a feeling of unease crept in, a nagging sense that I wasn't alone. I heard faint giggles, distant yet unsettlingly close. The game was supposed to have no other players, yet I felt watched. Suddenly, the merry-go-round began to spin slowly, the haunting notes of its melody echoing in the still air. I tried to log out, but the option was gone. Panic set in as the reality of my situation began to sink in. I was trapped. What was initially just a game now felt like a sinister trap, and each step I took seemed to draw me deeper into its web. Determined to find a way out, I ventured into the funhouse, hoping to find a clue or an escape mechanism. The mirrors inside distorted my reflection, twisting it into grotesque parodies of myself that sneered and glared. It was then I noticed something chilling. One of the reflections wasn't mimicking my movements. It waved at me with a knowing smile, and that's when I saw it held an object, a familiar, withered teddy bear from my childhood. How could a game know such a private aspect of my life? The fear that gripped me was no longer virtual, it was as real as my pounding heart. In a desperate bid to reclaim control, I sprinted toward the exit, the distorted laughter of the funhouse echoing behind me. But as I reached the door, a chilling thought stopped me cold. The whispers that had haunted me since entering the game were no longer just sounds, they were voices, calling my name, pleading for help. And then it hit me, I wasn't the first to be trapped here. The game wasn't just a program, it was a prison, a digital purgatory for lost souls. As the realization dawned, the screen flickered, the world around me pixelating into darkness. I was left alone in a void, with only the distant echoes of the others to keep me company.